always said go find a practice buddy, so there needs to be more resources for that. So yes, yes. Let us see here. From Julian 152. Let's see. Oh, it's not. It wasn't actually a question, or it got cut off. Happens. Oh yeah, here's a question from Sevja, who says, Day 9, how do you deal with early game all-ins on the separated 2v2 maps, where one partner can't just focus on defense? So, what Sevja's talking about is this really critical issue in 2v2, where if me and my ally can join our forces together and make a really strong ball, and my opponents, can't join their armies together, then at any point in time, it's me and my allies' double-sized army against one of their individual armies, but not both at the same time. So there are two different kinds of responses to this. One is just to clump your army early as well. So for instance, if the Protoss goes 2 gate and you're Terran and you're going 3 barracks Marine, then you rally to some sort of mutual area between you two and just join together right off the bat. But the other one that's actually really fun is to try to figure out how to set up some early defenses. And you'll probably have to practice this a little bit. But I mean, for instance, I remember playing some games with Noni where I was going 2 gate opening against his Protoss, where he goes 1 gate opening. And when he'd see me 2 gate, he would actually wall in. He would completely wall himself in and really try fast to get sentries out, so then he could force field his ramp endlessly. It was really cool. I totally never thought of it. And people can try that as well in 2v2s. So, yeah, I just would definitely say sort of join together. And remember, if you're like a lower level player, get an approximation of a strategy. You don't need to be some sort of super level genius. You know, you don't need to have ultra extremely smooth play, kind of like what I was talking about at the start. You just need to have a good approximation of, this seems overall pretty reasonable. And if it seems pretty reasonable in your head, just run with it. In the game that we saw Devin and Jason play, they walled in and expanded because we're on other sides of the map, and we have these expansions in our main. Why not take them? Completely reasonable thing to do. Everything was later game focused. So yes, that was awesome. Sir. Let's see here. Schnibble says, Hey Day 9, how can I get away from always going mass stalkers? I mainly build them because they just seem to fit my mineral gas ratio, but I think it's not the most effective composition. So this is such an awesome question. It might seem dumb, because most of you are going, well, just don't do that, man. Start incorporating more stuff into it. But this is what's so important about what Schnibble's saying. So what Schnibble is almost certainly experiencing is that he has better basics and fundamentals and mechanics than his opponents. Because, for instance, if you're one of these choppy players who builds his gateway and sort of waits around and goes, oh yeah, I gotta build a core, and you build a core, and whoops, haven't been making probes, let's go make some of those, and oh god, can never remember to make 2 geysers, gotta make both of them, you know. If you're one of these slow players, you're just gonna have not that much stuff at any point in time. So if you're, like Schnibble, and you can actually just make a bunch more stalkers than the opponent, you can just kill them. And what I would say is, I see no reason to force yourself not to do something that's working. It obviously fits into your mineral gas ratio, exactly as Schnibble said, but if it's a strategy you like doing, getting a lot of stalkers, what'll happen is you'll begin playing more, and you'll rapidly climb up the ladders because you just have better mechanics, and then you'll start hitting people who can just deal with your stalkers really, really easily. So you'll say, well, I have this build that gets me a lot of units, a lot of stalkers, maybe I'll start incorporating more zealots and sentries into the play, and magically, you can start beating those strategies that killed your stalkers really easily. And then you even start to notice other little subtleties. You can let this evolution happen naturally in your gameplay. If you're having something that works, there's no reason to stop doing that. In fact, it's kind of funny because way back in Brood War, I went Hydralisks in Zerg vs. Zerg a lot. And I liked it, and it seemed good, and everyone was always, oh, Hydralisks are really bad, oh, stupid, yeah, never go Hydralisks. But, I mean, on PG Tour, I could go like 43-1 in Zerg vs. Zerg, like all the way up to A+, just going Hydralisks, because I spent an incredibly long time trying to figure it out. I didn't look on the forums and go, well, if everyone yells at me for going Hydralisks, I guess I'll stop. If it works for you, just keep trying to make it work, and you'll figure out ways to deal with situations where you end up losing. So, hey, I will take one more question. So let us divine. I'm just scanning through the questions. There's giant blocks and everything. Oh, here's, let's end this question on Nat Selection, who says, Hey, Day 9, I'm new to RTS games, and I was wondering what I should do to learn how to interpret my opponent's strategy from early scouting. So, it's funny because you hear really top players like the Little One, in particular, has said that one of the most important things, I think, in StarCraft 2 is scouting, because there's all these variety of things that can go on, making sure that you respond appropriately to scouting. That's totally true. At high levels, the reason scouting is important is because if you're a really good player, you hit a point where you're just going, I just need to know what he's doing before I can go on, because I don't know if he's going to get a ton of Banshees with Cloak, where I need detection, or he could be just getting a big Marine Marauder army where I just need a lot of ground units. Those are two really different situations I need to know. But notice how I said that. I decided that, I actually need to know because of this experience. How do I word that better? When you're at a lower level, you don't actually need to scout because you don't know what it is you're scouting for. If you're scouting for the sake of scouting, that doesn't mean anything. You're scouting to get the necessary information. So if you're a low-level player, just first work on smoothing your play out, making sure everything's good. I mean, you can do the obvious scouting, like if I control the Zelnaga Watchtower, I see if he's going to attack me. Definitely do that. Or if there's stuff you're specifically looking for, you can definitely scout that. But what's going to happen is, just like I was saying at the start, first, you need to smooth out your build, and then once it's smoothed out, you're just going to go, Jesus, those 20 things that I used to lose to all the time, I don't lose to now because I'm just good at building a lot of stuff and getting all my buildings finished quickly and having good timing with my economy. Wow, that was so easy. 20 of these strategies completely crossed off my worry list. But these 3 leftover strategies are really giving me problems. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I can beat strategy A. But I can't beat strategy C, and I'm kind of against strategy C. Now all of a sudden, you're saying, what can I look for to know if he's going A, B, or C? Notice how that was the last step, Nat Selection. The last step to the entire evolution of trying to get better and everything was, how do I figure out good scouting? If your build's choppy and bumpy and awful, if you scout him and you see he's going Mutalisks, you might say something like, oh my god, I need to get anti-air. But if you had a smooth build, you might have killed him already. That's, for instance, when I go 2-gate as Protoss. I can kill a lot of Zergs who are trying to rush up to Aspire really fast, just straight up with a Zealot Rush. So I don't even really worry about that too much, because it's just not something I ever even have to worry about, because my build is very, very smoothed out. But, is he, now that he's fended off my rush with roaches, and now I'm expanding, and now I'm actually in the dark, what do I need to look for to know if he's getting Hydralisk or Mutalisks? These 2 different situations. Again, after I got everything really smoothed out. So if you are new to RTS, just have a good time playing, and just try to make sure things line up nicely in terms of timing. Start things right as other things finish, and so on and so forth. And make sure your money is low, damn it. So that is going to wrap up Day 9 Daily number 146. I'm eagerly going to continue perusing through my good friend Devin's replay package that he sent me, because first of all, he really skyrocketed up in skill, and second of all, 1v1 games are always so crazy and so funny at the gold level games, and they're just always a good blast. So thanks so much. The next 3 days is the White Raw special. So White Raw is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Lots of White Raw. He is such a kind person. He gave me tons of his replays. So definitely going to be covering a lot of that. And of course, go to my YouTube where the first set of questions and answers have been answered, and you can post the new questions, and of course, vote up the questions you want me to answer for the next week. So that is going to wrap up that. I am going to say goodbye, and you guys should have fun playing the beta when it comes back online. I know I am going to be binging like crazy. And of course, I just want to give a little tease. I have a gigantic, epic, insanely huge announcement coming up soon. Epic, huge, giga, mega announcement. So I want all of you to speculate and begin having wild accusations on forums about what it could be. So hey, see you later, and ta-ta-ta.